Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44. I want to talk about the conundrum that this year's 4th of July has presented myself and probably a lot of other people in this country. Now, I've been on this earth for 35, going on 36 years. So, I've had many, many great 4th of Julys. Many. And I would be dead ass lying if I said that I wasn't aware of the history that everyone is focused on right now while celebrating the 4th of July. I also think that I've lived in a country where the culture is to kind of overlook certain wrongdoings, or it's like almost taboo to complain about certain wrongdoings if they've been done so many years ago, so many decades ago, so many centuries ago in some cases. And so it's almost like you're shunned for bringing those things up. They are irrelevant because they were the logic that put together this country and all that we have here, and that's what we were taught. Like, even though it was bad, it was a means to what we have, and that's what's celebrated. We celebrate not how we got here, but that we're here, right? That's the mantra, so to speak. But this year is different because we are focused on bringing light to all of the energy that we don't appreciate about ourselves as a country. We are looking at the racial issue. We are looking at some of the injustices taking place with the Spanish and Mexican and South American community in regards to ICE and these cages they're putting these kids in. And we're looking at Vanessa Guyon and how their community is affected by this injustice, and how the military community has been affected by this injustice. And just watching the whole cover up, you're looking at all these stories involving people that look like myself. You know what time it is with that. It's well documented everywhere. This is a different time, and it doesn't feel right to me to go about business as usual on this day. At the same time, I feel like, and I do feel this way, I don't think it's my place to take a day that people have hovered around and have made great memories on and have dedicated to their lost loved ones who fought, and have dedicated to things other than the injustices that I've spoken of, and try to remove the joy and remove the togetherness and remove the celebration of that day. I think that's when I feel as if I've crossed the line in terms of fighting injustice, crossing the line over to making something about myself, and then becoming a selfish entity. I think we cross the line not necessarily in what we're asking for, but that we are asking. You know what I mean? If this is a day that people celebrate and they come together with their families and they're supposed to eat barbecue and they celebrate their country and they celebrate their heritage and all that good stuff, the injustices done to me make me feel as if I have a right to not celebrate it. But when I start telling others how they should go about handling the day, and shaming them or trying to snatch their joy from them in the name of my respect, that's when I no longer feel like I deserve the respect. Like I've always said about fighting for Black Lives Matter, and you know how powerfully passionate I am about that. But in that same breath, I find it very, very, very important that I balance that out by talking about stuff that does not pertain to my community, because it's self-serving when you only focus on things that pertain to you. And I think that it's self-serving energy that we're fighting against. So when you put forth a self-serving energy and say, okay, everybody needs to stop, the world needs to stop because you need to pay attention to what happened to me, how I feel about it, and none of you guys deserve to be happy because of it, suddenly I've snatched the desire from everyone who wants to support me and made it about a situation where now they're being forced to choose whether or not they want to support me under circumstances that don't necessarily feel as warm anymore. Warmth of the spirit is something that I like to share and like to feel from others. So while I'm sitting here saying my life matters, and all of this, and our people matter, you need to focus on us, if I'm snatching the joy from a child who's spending the day with his father, or if I'm snatching the joy from a family who's only gets to see each other but twice a year and this is the one day they do that, suddenly I feel like the bad guy. Suddenly I feel like we've taken the strength from our position and turned it into something poisonous. So that's the conundrum I'm faced with here. The balance between not feeling comfortable celebrating this day and being surrounded by people who don't look like me, who may be celebrating this day, and not wanting to be a killjoy to those people. Regardless of what you feel they deserve, it's not my place to be that. I'm not God. So even if I think they shouldn't be celebrating this day because of the truths that I have in my heart, does not necessarily mean that I'm convincing them that they should support myself by asking them not to celebrate a day that means so much to them. So the decency in me begins to fight with this notion, and I don't know where to stand. So I figured the best way to do this is to pray, as I've been doing all day long. When I see people, maybe I'm not saying happy 4th, but I'm definitely not shunning them or looking at them crazy for saying it to me. I'm not trying to start no civil rights conversation with these individuals and trying to get them to focus on me and my concerns on this day. I just don't feel like I'm the center of the universe, and I don't think I should be trying to be. I think that if you support me and you love me, then the best thing I can do for you is stand to the side and let you live your life the way that you want to live it. But then when it's time, when we should bring up these injustices and things of that nature, I don't know that that's my place to do on this day. I will discuss it amongst people in my community, and I will post things on my social media so that if you look on my page, you know where I stand. But when I'm in your presence, I'm not trying to take your joy on a day that means something to you, because I don't want you doing it to me on my day. We're supposed to stand in solidarity with one another until we figure out solutions for these issues. And if we can't come together and say, you know what, even though the celebration is surrounded and rooted in something that doesn't feel right to me, it doesn't mean that everybody who's celebrating is aware of what those things are. And as I said about God in another video, I don't think he's going to shun me for not knowing who he is. I don't think Jesus is going to cut my head off for not ever hearing of his name in this life. He'll shake it, he'll put his hand out and say, my name is Jesus, nice to meet you, and then begin the relationship there. And I think the same should be done in regards to how we view one another. I'm not going to shun you for what you don't understand about my situation. I want to educate you, I want to learn from you, and then I want to stand in solidarity. And hopefully the peace can come from that organically. A lot of our things that we do create resentment, and we need to stop it. My name is BDF. Thanks for watching.